Today, we're talking with Ivan, someone who's rebuilding his life with intention and purpose. From his journey growing up in Houston and Montreal to returning to school and finding direction, Ivan's story is about resilience, growth, and giving back. He believes it's never too late to change your path and to help the person next to you. Help me in welcoming Ivan to the episode. So, Ivan, you mentioned you were born in Montreal, raised in Texas. What's the story there?
Basically, the earliest memory I have of my childhood was when I was 5 years old. And I remember waking up looking for my mom, as any child would. And my dad coming to me and basically kneeling down and telling me that my mom had left overnight, and basically that she just didn't care for us and not to look for her. And basically that was it. Like, she was gone. And then after that, that basically dragged into what would lead on to who I would become later on. And after that, my dad took us to Houston, which we had a basic regular life there at first. A regular childhood where we had family there. And it was really a good childhood for the most part, until later on my dad ended up meeting a new woman. And after that, he started becoming really neglectful, and he started like treating us different. And the lady, she was no better. Just to give you an example, there was times where she would like write her name and the groceries in the refrigerator, anything we had, all the food that we had, and she would basically write her name, and we were not allowed to eat that food. And yeah, I could just say that it changed me in a way that I was like, in my eyes, it's like, how could your father allow that to happen in his own home? It kind of made me, that was like, I think I could say those was like the first steps in becoming a rebel. Aside for the fact that, I'm thinking my mom had left me for selfish reasons or whatever like that, and it wasn't until later that I found out the truth, which was that my dad ended up threatening her, and he basically told her, I'm gonna trying to kill her, basically trying to kill her, trying to everything under the book, call immigration on him because they were refugees from Salvador. So he was like, I'm gonna call immigration, I'm gonna get you deported, just I need you to get away from my sons. And the whole issue apparently with that is because my oldest brother, he was my half brother. He wasn't my dad's son. So I don't know, I guess he always kept some type of remorse or some type of hate towards my mom about that. And I guess one day, and also my mom used to like to, have fun. And my dad was the complete opposite of that. And I guess it just got to the point where he did that. She ran away, and for reasons unknown, my dad ended up going to Houston.
What was the Houston connection, like from Montreal?
I would say that probably my family was there. I mean, I really don't know, to this day.
Okay, you guys had family already in Houston.
Yeah, most of our family is in Houston, even to this day. Most of at least on my dad's side, almost everybody's there. And that's the only logical thing I could think about, is that he went there because the family was there. He probably had lost his woman, so he had no reason to stay here. I really can't tell you. Even to this day, me and my dad don't really talk, and I wish.
Is he still in Houston?
Yeah, he's still in Houston. He's, he got married with a lady, and that was basically another part. He ended up getting remarried, and once that happened, I mean, it was already getting neglectful at first, it seemed like it was not a nice thing. He got married with her, he fixed his documents, and he never cared to fix ours. So we were there basically as illegals the whole time. And he got remarried, and he took off. He took off. He left us the house, which seems like a good thing. Yeah, I had to drop out of school, help my brother pay for the house, and so that was the reason I never finished school, just for him to sell the house I think 3 years later.
Wow.
I mean, I can't lie to you. It was our fault. I won't say that. I won't take that away from him.
What do you mean your fault?
Well, by that point, me and my brother, we started using drugs really heavily, and we started drinking heavily. And just to keep it simple, the house became a party house. Like it was basically like, and I'm talking about like a block. Like, we had people from everywhere coming like to come party there, and we were staying up 2 3 days without going to sleep and just drinking and doing other drugs that go with it.
Yeah. How did it get to that point?
I mean,
like, what do you think set you off the edge at that point?
Well, I think it was the day that she disrespected me and my dad stood there. You know, by that point, I already had started like smoking marijuana and stuff, and like I'll never forget like what really made it worse was that day like she ended up coming to the room. She thought I had stole from them, and I'm pretty sure she was just trying to start mess or something. And I'll never forget that day. My dad was standing right next to her, and he's just quiet the whole time. And she just kept saying, she's like, you're nothing but a dog. You belong in the streets like with the dogs, with the rest of your friends, and like you'll never become nothing. You're worthless. Like everything like that. Just saying. My dad standing next to her, and that was the first day I really like let my dad like, you know, told him what I really thought of, and I just basically told him, I was like, you're a coward. Like, how can you stand there and let a woman like that's not the mother of your children say that to your own kids? My dad used to beat us a lot, you know. He used to, sometimes for no reasons too. There'd be times where, like, or a matter of fact, I remember when I finally stood up for myself, I ended up getting suspended. But in my head, I'm thinking, oh, you know, like, all right, I got suspended, but I'm pretty sure my dad will be happy or at least, you know, proud of something that I stood up for myself. And now I remember I got put us against the wall, hit us with the belt, and it's like, if you move, then you're getting hit wherever you moved at, you know. And it was for a certain amount of time. So that day also was like another day I stood up to him, and like that was the last time he hit me. And I think that was like really what started the rebellious phase, you know. Like that's really what was like, after that I was like, dude, like you don't care about me. I thought at that time, I thought my mom didn't care about me. So I mean, I just, what age, like, go ahead and do what you gotta do. My brothers tried their best. My brother's basically my dad. My brother Victor, he was basically my dad. He tried his best with me, and it was just too much. I was just too much to handle. And then we go back to where we were at the house, and you know, it became a party house. And then my dad sold it after I dropped off just to be able to sit there. And then my brother, he's undocumented. He's working whatever jobs he can find just so he can pay the house. And then he just puts us out. And I mean, maybe he told my brother, but as far as I was concerned, like, I was like, I just got put out.
Where did you end up living?
That's just it. I didn't really have nowhere to go. I would probably go. I remember I stayed at my friend's house for like a year, and they took me in. But at some point you overstay your welcome. You know, I couldn't find a job. I didn't have documents to find a job. I couldn't help with nothing. Try to help in whatever way I could, but again, you're living at somebody else's house. It's kind of like, you know, there's so much we can do for so long. And I ended up staying there for like a year, and then they were like, bro, like, we have to go, you know, and we're sorry, but you have to go. And that's nothing against them. To this day, I got love for them. I really do. So then I started going into like illegal activities just to get money. Even though I would try to keep a job, I was still doing illegal activities just to be able to get more money.
It was a struggle to survive.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I mean, the stuff that I saw, you know, I saw so much stuff. It was pretty messed up, the stuff that I had to see just to people to survive out there.
Was there a point, you're in this life, was there a point where you said, like, I need to get out of this?
At that time, no. You know, at that time, like I said, I was just so lost. And there's a family that also, they would take me in too. They took me in, and before I even got homeless, and they tried their best, and I remember I went like a week without eating, and I ended up at their house, and you know, I call them, even to this day, I call them pops and mom. Like, to me, it's my pop. And I'm supposed to be part of the family, right? And next thing you know, she sees me like passing out, because that's just how hungry I guess I was. I was just passing out. And then she's like, what's wrong with you? Like, oh, everything I always say is so casually. Like even when I feel like I messed up my knee, like I just fell. And I'm just always been like that. And I told her I was like, yeah, I just haven't eaten like 5 days. Man, she chewed me out for like a good while. She's like, how dare you come here and not eat and say that you love us and everything. And they showed me really good amount of love. Like they tried their best. Like I said, I had a lot of people try with me, but at that point I was lost. And once I became homeless and started hotel hopping, I started getting into more illegal activities until I finally got introduced to another drug that just completely, that was the beginning of a whole spiral, and it went from bad to the worst. Rock bottom for me was the day that I was using the drug, and I remember using the drug and coming to tears. I was in tears that I wanted to stop, but I knew inside that I didn't have the strength to stop. You know, that was the sad part, I think, to me, is that I wanted to stop. I really wanted to stop, but I accepted the fact that I couldn't stop. I didn't have the strength to stop. And I don't know, it's worse than rock bottom. It's worse than any dark hole you think you could be at. Like, because besides not believing in myself or believing that I had a future, it was just, I just didn't see a way out. I didn't see a way out at all.
How did you end up in Montreal after all this?
Um, well, in the middle of living this lifestyle, basically somebody told me, hey, you want to do this to get some money? I said, yeah, of course, because I was trying to get another hit. And I told them, yeah, of course. And next you know, I went, I did it, I got caught. And so basically, I ended up going to jail. I did 14 months. And that was where, I was started sobering up. And that's when I guess I had my moment of clarity. And it was really weird. Once I ended up in the custody of ICE, immigration, it was when I guess I had that moment. I had that I don't even know how to call it. It had to be divine intervention or something that to make me just, because I was dead set on staying there. I was going to stay. I already had signed my papers to stay in Texas. And like, I don't know, I tell everybody all the time, it's like God touched my heart, and it was like something told me to come home. And sure enough, the same day that I even had that thought or that feeling, the ICE agents came. They were like, hey, like, we're ready to start the process for you to stay. And I was like, yeah, no, bro, like, I think I'm gonna just go back. And they were trying their hardest to make me stay. They were like, oh, why do you want to go back? Like, there's no reason. You have a good chance of staying. You have a good chance of staying here, and you don't have to go. Like, why would you want to go back? I remember as clear as yesterday. Like, it was just, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I told him just like that. Like, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of this life I'm living here. I'm tired of being homeless. I'm tired of not having a life. Like, I have to do something. I'm getting to the age where it's either do or die. And trust me, I came so many times I came close to dying that it was just like, yeah, I'd rather do. So it was time for me to go back home.
So tell me about what happened when you ended up back in Montreal.
Well, first thing for sure that I remember was reconnecting with my mom. And that was the very first thing and the best thing. Because I had to get escorted here. Like, the ICE agents came with me in the plane and brought me here, handed me over to Canadian custody, and basically just like, boom, go. I had no cell phone, had no knowledge, everything is in French, and I was like, man, like, here we go, like, it's a whole day was like, to say, nerve-wracking. Like, I was like, what am I doing? And I remember they were just guiding me, and God made it happen that my mom was waiting for me at the exact terminal where I was walking at, and
how did she know you would be there?
Once I got in jail, she was already like in touch with me. My brother was already back here with her, so she was already like in the loop of me being in jail. And it's obvious, your mom's always gonna be there for you. And sure enough, she was like the only one there for me during my time in jail. She was putting money in my books. She was making sure I called her all the time, checking up on me all the time. And yeah, so she knew I was coming home. Like, of course, as soon as I told her, I was like, I'm coming home. And yeah, I got there, and as the first thing I see is her and my brother. Like I'll never forget that to this day. Like just seeing her and walking up to her, and I remember hugging her, and like the moment that I hugged my mom, like besides like I felt like all like that burden that I had got lifted, and like I'll never forget her crying and telling me like, you know, your dad did this, he did that. It's like, and this is when I knew it was the truth. And she's like, I wish I had the strength to not have left, and I had the strength to fight for you instead of just walking away the way that I did. But I was so scared of him that I just left. And to this day, when I see the way that you turned out, like I regret not fighting for you. And I mean, I just make sure that she knows like what that doesn't matter no more. Like what matters is that we're here now. And the 2 years that I've been back, like I've accomplished so much more than I ever did in what 20 plus years in
How
Houston.
did you end up here? How did you end up at Galileo?
When I was in jail, I said I was gonna come back and I was gonna make something of myself. Like stop wasting time and really make something of myself. And a lot of people hate to admit it, but school is a big step for that process. And you know, like okay, there's a lot of people who become successful, but not without a college or high school diploma or whatever. But I'm trying to make a title. You know, I'm trying to get a title and make something out of myself. So it's time for me to, you know, do what I said I was going to do. So yeah.
I see all the students before they start. Miss Rosanna always does the tour, and I meet them all, show them the classroom. But there was something different about you, Ivan. I don't know if it was just the look in your eyes. Like you, how do I describe this? You looked into the classroom and you had just these eyes of hope. It's like you wanted to belong. I don't even know how to describe it. You had this just hopeful look in your eyes that I'm like, this kid wants to be here. He's gonna do great things. And look at you now, doing great things.
More like looking for my purpose.
Do you feel like you're finally found your purpose? Or are you still struggling to find it?
No, I know exactly what I'm looking to get into now. You know, the goal is to get my high school diploma and then get into either, you know, wherever I can get into to start social work, to get into social work, and specifically to work with people with addiction problems or with gang affiliations. You know, just kids that are lost. More than anything, it doesn't really matter because you could be lost in many different ways that doesn't include addiction or gang life. You know, and just to let them know, like, hey, man, like, you're not alone. Like, no matter how bad you have it, like, even if I don't know you, I'm here for you. Like I say, ever since coming here, I've noticed that some things different about me. Like, I mean, even from the beginning, I was like, yeah, like, I can't say I felt nervous coming into the center, because I've been through the gutter. I've been through a grinder. Seriously, I was like, when I came here, I was like, man, let's go. Like, it's time to really say, like, let's get this going. Like, let's stop wasting time. Let's do it. Like, there's nothing that's gonna stop me.
When you think back at the last year that you've spent here, is there maybe a more remarkable accomplishment? Is there something that you think back like, wow, I can't believe I did this? Or is there several things? Because I know you've done quite a bit lately. EMSB Student of the Month.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I mean, look at that.
I can't believe
stuff,
it.
And then like I'm also a student representative in the governing board. I mean, all these stuff is like things that I never thought possible, you know.
Before we go, I want to ask you a couple rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. I don't want you to think. I just want you to say the first answer that comes to mind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, ready? Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Walking or cycling?
Ooh, walking.
Reading a book or listening to music?
Music.
Sneakers or dress shoes?
Sneakers.
Joggers or jeans?
Jeans.
Movie or dinner?
I love to eat. I think dinner.
And finally, one word that your peers would use to describe you.
Charismatic.
Thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Before we go, I just want to know, is there, you've actually said a lot of life lessons. Is there one that you'd like to share with everyone listening? One life lesson.
It's the most important one.
Which is?
Believe in yourself. There's nothing nobody can tell you if you don't believe in yourself. If you don't really, truly believe in yourself, I can't do it for you. No matter how much I want to do it for you, no matter how much I want to push you to do it better, if you don't say I am worthy, if you don't say yeah I can do this, if you don't change your mindset from like nah maybe this was because this and that, if you don't change that mindset to like yeah, just become alive, just go out there and take the world on with your head up and your chest out, like it's gonna change everything. It starts within.